do this tomorrow.
All right, we are recording now, bro. We are
Appreciate
recording.
you.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So for all those that are watching this video, this is your boy Smart Money Sensei, and I got my man Matt, and I got my boy Robbie on the call. I'm just actually about to go over how my chart is actually set up and the signals that we actually just sent out today. This will be GBP AUD, and this is currently in profit. As you can see, we entered a sale at this point, and then as far as Euro AUD, we are currently sitting within a 1 pip withdrawal at the moment. So I want to actually add this onto the screen. So pretty much y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I have going on, basically how I have it set up, is I trade due to market structure. So when it comes to market structure, it is the best way to actually determine when price is going to make a certain move and which direction is going to go. So what I mean by market structure, you should see yellow lines on my screen. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Each yellow line is a point of structure in the market. And what I mean by points of structure in the market is basically where price bounced off at. So it consistently played off of this same point of support and resistance. So it once played off as a support, got rejected. Let me move this line out of the way. You can see that price itself, it got rejected off this line and came right back up right here, right? I actually pull out my mouse. Y'all see it? So price was once this point of structure right here. Price broke through, rejected. And then when it finally broke through, it had to come back to retest it. So it also came down to create a new support. That new support ended up playing off on a double tap. So as you can see, it literally broke off, retested it, and then it finally made its way on up. So pretty much when it comes to watching the market itself, the market played off market structure all the way up. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So right now, it did not break this point of structure and it did not go past this zone. It played off of this zone multiple different times. So anytime you're at a high point, you're actually looking at the market and the market is having these wicks, these multiple wicks, and it's not breaking through, then pretty much price is looking to make a turn of direction. And in order for it to actually go through with the turn of direction, it must play in between the point of structure. So as you can see, this is a point of structure that is currently played off previously from these points. So from these 2 points, price broke through and finally broke through again and retested it. So I knew that this was our new resistance. Price then came and broke through that resistance, came back to retest it, but it did not break the next point of structure. Meaning most people, when they see a trend on the buy, they would think that the trend itself is looking to buy, but that's not necessarily the case. So what I mean by that is I can show you an example with US 30. US 30, same thing played here. This was a strong point of structure. This was the US 30 trade that I caught last week. So when it came and rejected off of this point of structure, that was a previous point of structure as well. So when it rejected and it engulfed the previous candle, as you can see, this candle engulfed that candle. So it seems though this candle engulfed that candle, it lets you know that it was a sign for a turn of direction. But it has to fake people out. That's how US 30 plays. It literally fakes out, fake out, fake out, and then it makes its move. So I caught the entry from right here, and it literally broke down through the previous points of structure. And those were points of structure were marked up from the past zone. So this point of structure is why price itself got rejected and is playing around right now. So pretty much this zone right here is a strong zone. So as price came and tested this zone, as you can see, it was a strong rejection to the upside. Then price came down and it hit another strong rejection in the middle. But this also pertains to my 0.5, 0.618 zone. What I mean by that is I like to trade with the Fibonacci. So if I take out my Fibonacci, in general, I already know that this zone right here that it came to is my 0.5, 0.618 zone. But I'm going to draw out the box before I bring out the fib. So from this lower bottom to its next highest point up here, That would be right there, literally right here. That's where I'm aiming it at. I'm just lining it up right there. The zone that I trade in is the 0.5, 0.618 zone. So as you can see, price came within my 0.5, 0.618 zone. And this would have been a buy limit. So basically, with me drawing my field, that would have been a buy limit. And as you can see, it came, activated the order, played out perfectly, right? So that's just the way that you can actually use the field as far as catching the uptrend. And then as far as a downtrend goes, say, for example, this actually didn't play out, of which it would come back to retrace. This actually just broke through, but it was also due to news. So news can also take effect into the market, and that's why you will sometimes see price come back to your 0.5, 0.618 zone. But I can say 80% of the time, price does retrace back into the 0.5, 0.618 zone, and that way it can make sure in general is not leaving behind any type of imbalance in the market. So me personally, I already know just by looking at this, US 30, if it breaks through this zone, it's going to continue to go up, all right? As you can see, it broke through this zone, but you wouldn't want to get into the trade. Again, you want to wait a few hours in general whenever it's at a point of structure. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, right? It was a reason why we waited. It came back and broke through, because once it broke through again, it came up and retested this boxed out zone. This boxed out zone was its highest high that it made within the London session. So these lines that y'all see on the screen, it helps me determine the highest high that it did for the actual London session. So when it creates its high for London session, then it lets me know, okay, so that zone right there, price tried to break through London session, but it never did. So since though it never did, as you can see, it continued to come back down, but it's still playing off a point of structure in general. So it continued to make its way back up to test that same high. And as you can see, we're currently where we're at. So I also sent out 2 other trades for the night. So the 2 other trades that I sent out for the night, this was GBP NZD. So as you can see, price broke through this point of structure, but I did not send out immediate sell execution because price still has to retest this point of structure. And a retest can be any type of retest. It can literally be a retest and break through and probably come back to hit this, or it can literally continue to come down. But we don't want it to play with our money. So seeing though we don't want it to play with our money, we put in a pending order, hint a sell stop. The sell stop is basically confirming the breakthrough. So as price breaks this previous low, then that's how we can confirm that it will continue to sell. We don't want to get in too early, or else we can risk it coming back to close out trades and then finally coming to sell. But by that time, when it finally comes to sell, we have a pending order. So then we'll be on the right side of the market. And as you can see in general, remember, we trade, we sell high, we buy low. So I already can tell that price itself is at a high point. It literally came to a certain point where it started to make a downtrend. But like I said before, you don't want to get into the trade too early. So prime example with the Fibonacci, say for example, we missed this move right here, right? This entire move to the downside. People would have got in for a buy, for a sale, because they seen price was selling. They would have got in for a sale. So what we do is we take our Fibonacci from that highest point, we bring it down to that lowest point right here. And as you can see, price literally played out into our 0.5, 0.6818 zone perfectly, right? That's our zone. It came into our 0.5, 0.618 zone. We would have put in a sell limit right here on a 0.5. And as you can see, our order would have gotten activated, and boom, from that point, we would have just collected from that order, and we wrote it all the way down. We would have just collected 225 pips, all right? And that's just basically getting in on those perfect entries. So since though this move had already happened, I can go ahead and delete it, and it played out exactly as predicted. Price over here, in general, it broke through points of structure all the way up. But if you know how to trade in general, price must come back to retest its points of structure that it broke through. So that's why we have a sell stop pending for it to come on and make its way down. And say, for example, it doesn't make its way down here, right? It still has to come back to retrace this whole move. Our 0.5, 0.618 zone is down here. So price in general, it still has to make its way back down into this zone in order for it to continue the uptrend. But you would know when it's a turn of direction because price will come down and break this one. So even still, it will come down and break this one. We're not looking to wait to get into the trade. That's why we have a sell stop, because we can actually ride the trade on down. All right. So pretty much that's a way to actually use the fib on the bigger frame. But as you can see, price never retraced at all. So you have to bring the Fibonacci from the lowest point to its highest point until it finally just started to make a lot more sales than what it previously did on its way up. And then the very last sale that we have open, this actually is about to come get activated. But the very last sale that we have open is USD SAC. USD SAC, as you can see, price made a strong push to the downside. So that means it has to come back to retrace. And since though it has to come back and retrace, we will have a sell limit in a 0.5, 0.618 zone. And that is what we'll be getting in as far as our entry. And this is a pending order as well. So this is what we're looking for this period to do. We're looking for it to buy its way up, activate our order, and continue on to the downtrend. So once price does this move off rip from our entry and we continue to ride it out, we can literally end up collecting, from where I have it marked up, we can end up collecting about 514 pips. All right. And that's just from our entry being right here and making its way on down. And as you can see, remember the last number is a pipette. So the next numbers before that are the pips. So from our entry all the way down to here, that will be 514 pips in general. All right. So as far as this pair goes, let me actually go ahead and delete these arrows because we already know what it's about to do. It will just be a pending order. So patience pays the patient. And as you can see, it's already starting to make its way back up. But you know that it's going to continue to be a sell because this candle did not engulf this candle. All right. So that's just letting you know right now price is coming to retrace the imbalance. Once it retraces the imbalance, then it will continue on going into its direction that it had planned on going. As you can see, it literally played off the same way as far as the MACD. But I don't really use the MACD as much. The MACD just let me know in general with the crossover because I don't use the MA crosses on my chart. So when I look at the market, I can tell in general which direction is going to continue to go just by looking at the overall view. The overall view for this trend is a sell. It didn't break through any points of structures as far as for the upside. It didn't break any previous highs or anything. So a way to calculate or just to pick out the daily highs and stuff like that, or like lower highs, lower lows, it's an indicator that you can use. I don't really use it as much, but I know most people, they might be able to pay attention and actually use it. It can be beneficial for them. So you can actually add this onto your chart. It will look like this, which is ugly to me. So what I do is I actually go to the settings. I'm going to change.
I actually have that.
Yeah, it takes it right back to the coloring of the that I had it at, but it still leaves the lower highs and the lower lows. And as you can see, it just created a lower low. Its lowest high is going to be in the zone that I just picked out. All right, it's literally how things play out. So as price continue to make its way, all it's going to do is come and create a lower high. All right. So once it creates that lower high, it then has to come and create a lower low. So meaning it will have to go past this point and continue on down to create a lower low. But again, most people would have got in an early sale while price is going through a retracement phase, and they would have been actually blowing their account. And they're like, I could have sworn it was a sale, which is why you'll see people, their trades will come and hit stop loss and then go ahead and hit take profit because price went through his retracement. and then it went ahead and continued in the direction that it was going. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now I can go ahead and delete that off of the screen. So actually, let me bring that back on because that's how I sent out the actual trade in general. So as far as my other markups, remember I said I have pairs marked up for years, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 21 pairs that are literally marked up for their ages, all right? Meaning
Damn.
they have points of structure playing out perfectly. All I have to do now is just come to the chart. Right now, price is playing into a zone that it played out previously in the past. I just have to go back for you so you can see. Price played out in this same zone. So it's either going to break through and continue to buy, or it's going to do a sell like it did right here. And as you can see, I have the points of structure marked up from this point from the sell. And then let me actually take this off of my screen. All right. And then with those being the points of structure, they play out in the future as well. So if I go into the future, price then started to come back and retest those same points of structures. Y'all see that? This is a point of structure, came back and retested it. This was a point of structure, came back to retest it. Same thing, boom. And it will literally play around the point of structure. But if it never breaks through, then the trend itself is going to continue in the trend that it was going in. So for this trend, it continued up into the buy. But let me show you something, right? Remember my Fibonacci. My Fibonacci, it has to come back to retrace the 0.5, 0.618 zone. So from that last push down, which is right here, actually it was right here, from the last push down, boom, I'm gonna take it from there. I'm gonna drag it up to that last push up. From that last push up, I'm gonna go ahead and mark out my 0.5, 0.618 zone. And let me go ahead and expand it. Boom, make it longer. There we go. And now all I'm about to do is actually put right here and say that we were going to do a buy limit because the trend is a buy, but it has to come back and retrace. So from this point, with that being a buy limit, I'm gonna go ahead and actually keep that right here, and we're just gonna let it play out in the future, right? So look, boom, what happened? Price came and activated our buy limit. Our buy limit was this purple line. We went through a withdrawal phase, but again, there wasn't a turn direction because it did not break this point of structure, right? So since though it did not break this point of structure, our order is activated. So what did it continue to do? Yeah, it continued to go on up to the buy. And from the buy, you can see that would have been, just calculating from right here, that would have been 258 pips. See that?
Jesus Christ, dude.
And that's just the way to actually catch that right entry with the buy limits and sell limits. And go ahead and delete this off of the market. And then points of structure is mainly what you're dealing with. So let me actually change that color to yellow. I like to have it color coordinated. White, yellow, white, yellow, white. All right, perfect. And right now, price is currently playing out into the same zone that it did in the past. All right, boom, boom. And that's why this not a buy, it's not a sell, because it didn't break through either point. Right now, it's just playing with people's money. So with that being confirmed for that trade in general, let me see another one. I'm gonna show you one last one where I'm not holding you guys up. All right, so boom. This will actually be, let me see, that's Euro JPY. Let me see, let me find a good one. Let me find a good one, right? So boom, let's try this. So as y'all can see, this was a strong push to the upside, all right? What you wanna do, you wanna take your fib from that last push down, bring it on up to the last push up. From that last push up, our zone is the 0.5, 0.618 zone, which is right here. Boom. And what I want to do is a buy limit. I'm going to say right there, I'm going to change the color to purple. Boom. Buy limit. And with price itself coming to play out off of this buy limit, we're going to let it do what it does in the future. Boom, boom, and then boom. What it do? It came and activated our order right here, buy limit. We went through let me see how many pip withdrawal. We went through a 13 pip withdrawal, right? 13 pip withdrawal. And then price decided to make its way on up.
No
So
way, bro.
all the way up.
No way.
We just caught 120 pips.
That's crazy.
And you can see it plays out every time just from the Fibonacci. So like just from me putting in a buy limit in the past, let it does what it does in the future. Boom, came out 120 pips. I'm good for the day. Now I don't care what it does, right? So it can literally do all of this consolidating, but I didn't already collect the profit. Boom.
Damn.
And let me actually go ahead and close that one out. I just want to make sure y'all have any extra questions for today's 30-minute session.
Nah, I want to review it tomorrow and probably write down some questions, but it's more like just practice of actually getting on the charts and like marking it up ourselves and kind of analyzing it.
Yeah, like you really got to look at the market. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. If y'all really look at it, you pay attention to it, it's gonna make sense. So like this is about to be a beautiful sale. Now y'all can see why I said we don't have to raise the price up to 200. So yeah, in general. And just from this point it's itself, it never broke this point of structure, but it did break my other point of structure. I ended up deleting it, but I can show you. So hold up. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure. Oh, that's another thing too. So each pair goes a certain amount of pips to create point of structure. So for this pair, it goes every 64, 65 pips, it creates a point of structure. So all I have to do is drag this on up, and it will literally, hold up, let me actually even it out. I want that even out to right there. So every 62, 63 pips, right? So from there to there, as you can see, point of structure. From here to here, as you can see, point of structure. From here to here, as you can see, point of structure. Same thing from here to here, as you can see, point of structure. As you can see, it got rejected, came back down, played inside of the same point of structure, but it never broke through the previous point of structure. So what it does, goes up some more, boom, from here to here. This is the point of structure that it broke through and retested, and that is why I sent out the sell execution. So let me actually change that to yellow. Boom. Actually, it wasn't yellow. On this chart, it's blue. So I'm gonna make it blue. There we go. So as you can see, price already broke through that point of structure, right? But it didn't go through and break this point of structure. So when it broke through here, it came back, retested, went back through, came back, retested, but it never broke through again. So that's letting us know, okay, so boom, price is looking to make its way on back down. So when since though it's making its way on back down, we're going to catch the trend going down. And that's why in general, we have a sell execution right here. And currently, this is the trade that we have out for pips for all. And we are up 7 pips.
All right, bro, I'm gonna wake up to profits.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Dang.
much. And that's why I was like, in the text message, I was like, yeah, we about to about to have them signing up from
better raise the price, son.
from G8. So another thing too to confirm your movements is we have my currency strength meter. So the pair that we're trading is GBP AUD. The strength for GBP is low, AUD is high. So what does that tell you?
GBP is dropping.
Exactly. That lets you know that this pair should be selling. All right. And then we also have a sell execution. We have a sell execution out right here. I mean, not a sell execution. We have a sell stop. But price, again, it has to come and break this point. And once it breaks that point, then we're looking good for the sell. and then I also can confirm it. So since though that's GBP NZD, the NZD pair has a lot of momentum versus the GBP. The NZD is stronger than the GBP, so that lets you know the pair that it's going against. GBP is the main currency pair, and NZD is stronger than that pair at the moment, so that lets you know that this pair should be selling. Oh. And other than that, let me go ahead and check. Again, this is the same thing for this pair, Euro AUD. Right now, both of them have the same momentum, but Euro has news coming out. So let me show you this real quick. I forgot it was on my other one, Forex Factory. Here we go. So for Forex Factory, let me go ahead and update. Actually, I want to go to our current date, which will be right here. So from July 26th to August 1st, as you can see, 1 o'clock, there's going to be news for Euro. So that's to let you know that Euro is going to be weak. Right now it is 10 o'clock, but the pair that we're trading is Euro AUD. AUD does not have any news coming out whatsoever. So that lets you know AUD is going to be strong overnight. AUD had news yesterday, so it does not have news coming out again until Tuesday. And as you can see, Tuesday, it's a red folder. So it should let you know that the pair should be weak for AUD as well. But we're not talking about Tuesday at the moment. We're talking about Monday. So it seems though today is Monday, the pair that we're trading is Euro odd, and that's where you're going to see this pair itself is going to continue to drop. All right. And let me make sure I can double check. Boom. See why I didn't do a sell execution? What did it do? Playing around. Same thing for GBP AUD. Sell execution, but the point of structure is up here. In general, as far as the sell goes, you already can confirm that the pair is weak. So it's not going to have any type of buyers for GBP. This pair is going to continue to sell. Same thing applies for GBP NZD. Same thing applies for USD. Oh man, that's about to come out and play beautifully. Look at that. But as you can see, the pair is weak, right? Y'all see USD is weak, but it still has to come and retrace. So it's going to come and activate our order and boom, drop. Love it when it plays out exactly how you predicted. But
I can't wait to wake up.
Other than that, though, man, this is pretty much it as far as just watching how pairs go itself. And I'm not really focused on any other pair. Again, we only have 4 pairs sent out for the night. But as you can see, I have about 21 pairs that I can easily send out. But again, patience pays the patient. So the pairs themselves, they're just playing around at the moment. All right. This is my 0.5, 0.618 zone, but it's also playing around in that zone. It is not breaking through, and it's not breaking through for the upside. So same thing applies for Euro. It's playing around in the same zone. GBP, right now, it's at a point of structure. It came back down, but it can easily come back to retest. Same thing for GU. But as you can see, this pair, both of those pairs are weak. Both of them are weak. So since though both of them are weak, I'll just leave
They're
the
just
pair.
going to be consolidating?
Yep, consolidating. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like that. And let me actually double check on anything else. USD JPY. This is actually going to be a sell limit as well. So don't be surprised if you see a sell limit is sent out from the last push up. You will see, boom, I'm going to go ahead, bring it on down. The 0.5, 0.618 zone, which is right here. Boom. Price can easily make its way on up to this zone. And this will be a sell limit. Once it gets to this zone, it would then start to continue into the downtrend. But other than that, that'll be good for today's Smart Money Sensei session. And then, like I said, you all are actually going to watch the video. So I know you're going to have questions for me later on. But other than that, you all have my social media and my Telegram in general. I just want to make sure as far as how the market looks, it doesn't look confusing or anything, does it?
No.
Just making sure. And then let me go ahead. I can actually
Just
stop.
a matter of practicing.
Yeah, you just got to practice it, man. And then other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording right now.